sparrow that just wants to be part of the satsang. Two of them, yeah. So, when we think about the divinity, why does divinity have to carry all the weapons? Simple question, no? Have you ever thought about that? And what is the significance of this? There is a significance associated with this. What is external cannot be easily understood unless you go inside. What appears in Telugu, there is a saying called Paina Pataram, Lona Lotaram. Paina Pataram means looks very good outside. Lona Lotaram, like houses here. Beautiful it looks, but it is all made of wood. Right? But in India they construct with real stuff. But it may not look beautifully, but it is very stable most of the time. Paina Pataram, Lona Lotaram means what appears outside, all that glitters is not gold. So when we look externally, we are looking at all these gods, and these gods are carrying all these weapons. How can God, who is the love, be associated with all these deadly weapons? Now we are talking about Vijjan Dhanuhu, Kapardino, Visalyo, Banavagam Uta, Aneshannasya Shava, Abhurasya Nishangadhi means now sword. Sword. You know, where you put all the weapons is called, that's the place where the weapons are stored, it's called Nishangadhi. Vijjan Dhanuhu, loosen the thread that is associated with your bow. Kapardino. Kapardinaha means Kapardina. Kapardi means the one who has beautiful locks of hair, matted hair, extending outside. Guess who that is? Who has lot of beautiful hair? Hello? Jai Sai Ram. Yeah. He is Kapardinaha. Kapardinecha Pulastayecha. Pulastayecha means the one who doesn't have any hair, completely shaven head, and wears a turban around. Who is that? Shirdi. Both of them are described in Vedas. Both the forms are described in Vedas. Kapardino means the one who has beautiful hair. Pulastayecha means that doesn't have any hair. Vijjan Dhanuhu Kapardino, O God, with lot of beautiful matted hair. Vijjan Dhanuhu, do not use your bow. Vishalyo Banavagam Uta, make your arrow Vishalyo, without any pointedness. And all your weapons, may they not be used to hurt anyone. Now, first of all, God is love. He doesn't have to carry any weapon. Does he have to carry weapon? He can just take a look at you and gone. Right? Actually in Devi Bhagavatam it is said like that. When mother went to fight as Chamundi, there were millions of, because I have to translate in even numbers in my language. So, sorry, once in a while I'll say things you won't know, lakh, crore, forgive me. So there are tens of millions of the army of this Chamunda that came. And she didn't have to do anything. She said, Hreem! All of them died. Hey, no kidding, man. Now you see in all these movies and you think it is all but all of them came from this thing only. Now they are making movies like Inception and all. No? Everything is spiritually based only, if you really look at the intent of what they are saying. So, she didn't even have to use a weapon. She said, Hreem. That's why it's called Hrinkarasanagarbhitanalasikham. Sauhklim Kala Vibhratim. Sauvarnambara Dharini Varasudham. Dhautam Trinetrojvalam. Vande Pustaka Pasha Mankushadharam. Sragbhushitam Ujvalam. Tvam Gaurim Tripuram Paratparakalam. Sri Chakra Sancharinim. So, if she doesn't even have to use the weapon and she can say Hreem, and millions of people died that came to fight with her, why God has to then carry any weapon? And now you are praying to God, please don't use your bow, don't use your arrow, all these things in order to understand this, there is a subtlety. These weapons that we are talking about are the weapons that are used to your word is a weapon. Your thought is a weapon. Your mind is a weapon. Your intellect is a weapon. All the things that are associated with you, the toolkit that God has given you, vichakshana, vairagya, all these things are weapons. Weapons to instruments, or you can also call them instruments, in order to be used in the context of when they need to be used for. If you use an instrument without discriminating what it is, like an atom bomb, you can destroy the whole societies and countries. So, but it also has other nuclear, reactors and all these things have other uses, no? They are used for producing all kinds of energies, right? But if they are used improperly, they can cause harm to the society. So the mantra is not now what the rope that mother is carrying is referred to, that's called pasham. Pasham means rope. That pasham is bondage. We don't even know we are bonded to something, but she uses bondage as a weapon when it is needed. We are constantly bound, but she is not, when I say she, he, doesn't really it, whatever it is, it's okay? Because actually it is it only. Tat means that. Because, if you refer to Tat Saviturvarenyam, Tat means that. It is not referred, divinity is not referred actually as male, female, nothing. It's called that in Vedanta. But that could be anything. Tat Saviturvarenyam. Why that? If you give the form, no, and when I say Krishna, you close your eyes. I say Krishna, you see the form of Krishna. You close your eyes, I say Rama, you see the form of Rama. Right? You say Jesus, immediately some form of guy with a nice robe and big locks of hair comes into your mind. Right? I think we went through this one of the classes early on, right? With that guy, what's a little fellow? Mira's son. He said, when I said that, what do you see? He said, I see myself, he said. When you say that, you see something that is indescribable. And that is indescribable has all the attributes, but also no attributes. Right? How can there be something that has all the attributes and no attributes? Is it possible? Is there something you can see? Every one of these things, when you scientifically look at it, there is a pramana, means there is evidence in the mother nature with everything associated with what all is described in Vedas, because Vedas do not describe anything that is not already existing in mother nature. Therefore, the people that studied the Vedas are supposed to study the creation. And once you study the creation, the mother nature, automatically you will be connected with the creator. Because when you connect to the reflection, you are connecting to the object. When you connect to the object, you connect to the reflection, right? If you go stand in front of a mirror, do you see your mom or yourself? Yourself, no? Because the reflection is nothing but your own self. And what is the reflection of God? Reflection of God is the creation. When you see the creation, you are seeing reflection of God. So, in the context of this reflection, reaction, and resound, every single attribute that is within you, you can see in Him as a reflection. Now, this is very tricky to understand. Because God is exactly like a Sakshi Bhuta, means witness to everything. He is Nirgunam, Niranjanam, Sanatanam, Niketanam, Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Nirmala Swarupinam. He is completely a witness. When you go and stand in front of Him, He reflects what you are. If you are in whatever state of consciousness that you have, He reflects back, He resounds back, He reacts back. Swami says in a poem very beautifully, for if you say yes, He says yes. If you say no, He says no. For Him, He says, whatever you say, He reflects back. Means what? He's completely love. So why is this weapon that is in this? The weapon that she's carrying as the pasham is the reflection of your attachment. Hello? The weapon that she is carrying as a goad is the reflection of your anger. So whatever qualities that are within you, God has carrying them, but the difference is for God, it is under the control of God. But for us, we are under its control. When anger comes, we are controlled by our anger. But God uses anger to control you. Following or too complex? No. Simple enough, right? In Telugu they say, Swami cheptaru, Swami says, Kopam techukuntanu bangaru. He doesn't say Kopam vastundi bangaru. Kopam techukuntanu. Techukuntanu means I use my anger. Swami kopam vachindi ledhu bangaru. Kopam techukuntanu. Techukotam means what? It is not within him. He is getting it to use it and he is done with it. But for us, when I say us, including myself, when the anger comes, there is no krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammohat smruti vibhrama. Smrutir bhramshat buddhinasho. Buddhinashat vinashyati. See how beautifully it is described in Bhagavad Gita. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. When the anger comes, then sammoha comes. Sammoha means anesthetized. No senses are working because everything is taken over. Immediately that sympathetic nervous system kicks up and then adrenaline goes up. And when the adrenaline goes up, the blood pressure goes up. The blood pressure goes up, nothing else really works. And then what becomes? You become sammoha. Sammohat smruti vibhramaha. Sammohat means you are anesthetized by this anger, and in this anger, when you are anesthetized, you lose your own consciousness, which is smruti vibhramaha. It gets disturbed. Smrutir bhramshat buddhinasho. Once you lose your smruti, your awareness, then your intellect doesn't work. Buddhinashat vinashyati. When the intellect doesn't work, that's the beginning of the downfall, destruction. See how it is described. So these mantras that we are talking about, don't use your weapons, etc., is the reflection. Paroksha priyaya ivahi deva. When God is referred to in Vedas, he is referred in third person. Means what? He doesn't have all these attributes. We are attributing our attributes upon him. Okay? That in Lalita Sahasranama, it's beautifully described in Lalita Sahasranama. Again, if you have to understand the Vedas, you have to understand, the Puranas and the Shastras, everything around them, they very much simplify how to interpret these mantras. Why? Because it is very difficult to understand all these mantras. Mantras is exactly stating what it is. In order to understand it, you need to create, like Inception, the whole thing of putting an idea in somebody's head. Once you see a movie, you get it, but it is all described somewhere else only. Once you see the movie, then you get the matrix. Same thing, binary code, how the matrix works. Once you see the movie, oh, very beautiful, excellent. But the same thing, if it is described in a mantra, you will not be able to connect to it. Why? Because it is too abstract. It cannot be connected to. Vedas are exactly like that. Just like parents telling a son, hey, don't do this. Then when the parent tells the son doesn't listen, right? Hello, am I saying anything including here? When my parents told me things, I didn't listen. Why? Because when parents are telling, it comes across as a very commanding, authoritative. Parent is like an authority. Oh, these people are telling with authority. When the authority is used, you cannot connect. A friend comes and friend says, hey, maybe you should not be doing this. Oh, friend is telling, same thing father told, but when the friend is telling, then they begin to listen. Oh, maybe this is something I need to think about. But when a girlfriend or a boyfriend tells, same thing, immediately it goes into the head. What's the difference? Huh? Surrender. Huh? When father, mother tells, it doesn't occur. When wife tells, girlfriend, boyfriend, immediately makes a lot of sense. Oh, you are absolutely, dear, oh my dear honey, how beautifully you said it. I now get it. Same thing father told. Father, hey, father, authority, no. I cannot. Hey, he's telling the same thing, man, since I am born, I shouldn't be. Huh? So what is the difference between, the reason why I brought up these Puranas and Shastras is, Puranas are like friends. Then it kind of understands Ramayana, some story happens, then that's the Purana, then you begin to get a little bit of it. Yeah. Then some Kavyam means movie. Movie comes out, then everything gets very beautifully. That's like this. So Raga, Manorupekshu Kodanda, Panchatanmatra Sayaka, Krodhakara Ankushojjvala. All these things are described in Lalita Sahasranama as what are all the different weapons and how these weapons are connected to a quality or an attribute within you. So when you are chanting this Lalita Sahasranamam, you are immediately saying, oh mother, anger is like a weapon. Jealousy is like a weapon. All these weapons, Ashtabhuji, when she is carrying, all the qualities or attributes associated with you are reflected in this divinity as. And then when you see her carrying the Pasham and you say, please let me be liberated from my bondage, as soon as you pray to that, you liberate from bondage. And all the attributes that whether you know it or not, when they're reflected, when you offer it to God, automatically you get unleashed from these things. Like Swami says very beautifully, if you take a lock and if you use a key, you turn it this way, what happens? Yeah. Usually, when you turn this way, what happens? It locks. When you turn this way, clockwise it opens. Anti-clockwise it closes. Then he says, divinity is like that. And you take your mind, you put in this lock, and you turn anti-clockwise. It locks, means you turn towards the world, you are bonded. When you turn towards him, you are liberated. Same mind, no. Turn this way, it locks. Same key. Turn this way, it opens. So, similarly, when you are connected to the divinity, when you turn your mind towards God, you are liberated. When you are turned towards the world, you are bound. But it doesn't matter. Does the lock really care? No. It's your action that makes it either lock or unlock. So similarly, when God is given with these attributes of Vijjan Dhanuhu Kapardino, Vishalyo Banavagam Uta, Aneshannasyeshava Abhurasya Nishangadihi. Let your weapons be used not to hurt anyone. So who is the you that is referred to? Ourselves. All the weapons are within us, but we are putting it on God. Usually that is the case. When we are happy, we don't thank God. When we are happy, when we accomplish, I did it. I'm very happy, I did it. When you go through problem, then suddenly God comes into picture. Suddenly say, oh God, what are you doing to me? Oh God, did you say, oh God, thank you very much, I am having this nice beautiful car or house? Or no. But when a problem comes, oh my God. Oh my God comes only when there is problem, right? Yeah, that's correct. So that attitude is, but it doesn't matter whether it is good or bad, is nothing to do with God. That is the fundamental thing. When a problem comes, it is nothing to do with God. If you look at Inception, you will understand that. Who planted the idea? Inception, now I'm advertising for Inception. The context of whatever things that we are going through is already completely pre-programmed. And this pre-programming is not done by God. The pre-program is done by yourself. Swami says, Yetti vitto atti panta. If you plant a mango seed, you will get a mango tree. If you plant a dosakai, you will also get a dosakai. If you plant a dosakai, you are cucumber. Dosakai means, sometimes I cannot think in English very fluently, so you have to forgive me. Not that, I'm programmed to think in Telugu, so once in a while that comes out like that. So if you plant a cucumber, will you get a mango? No, right? Same thing. If you do good deeds today, you will get good results later. And you cannot be expecting doing all bad things but go to God. Confession. Please forgive me. Aparadha sahasrani kriyante harnisham maya tani sarvani. And then he'll do all that stuff, put the stuff, get out, and then do the bad thing. Again, next day, aparadha sahasrani kriyante harnisham maya. What is this aparadha sahasrani kriyante harnisham maya? You keep on telling, please forgive me for all my mistakes, and then you go and do the mistake again, come back and tell him that he's looking at you, watching. Okay. Is this guy really serious? Yeah? Something wrong here, no? So the context of forgiveness is not about forgiving somebody else. This is really the other context of, in Buddhism, when they talk about forgiveness is not that somebody made a mistake and you have forgiven them. Huh? You understand? Listen to this very carefully. Lot of people say, I forgive you. Means what? Oh, that fellow did a mistake and now I am at a higher level. I forgive you. No, that is not forgiveness. When somebody hurt you, you carry that hurt with you forever. And by actually eliminating that hurt within yourself, you help yourself, not the other guy. Go watch Inception again. You will understand this concept. Huh? So who are you actually forgiving? The other guy? No. You are forgiving yourself. So, abhurasya nishangadhi. Do not let my instincts not be used to hurt anyone else. Let they become complete. And this completeness means what? You will be carrying so many layers and layers and layers of burden that is coming through you from millions and millions and millions of lives. Layer by layer by layer, when you go deep into your consciousness, all these things start coming out. And how do they happen? When you use a mantra like this, then automatically it is like going boom, it takes you into one deeper level of consciousness. And then when you meditate on the mantra, it takes you to another level, deeper level of consciousness. That may not be comfortable too. I can guarantee you that. You understand? It's not comfortable to go into deeper levels of consciousness. Why? Because things are coming out. When they're coming out, it could be good or it is bad. You don't know. But you have to be ready to face the devil. Huh? Follow the master, face the devil, fight to the end, finish the game. So, when these deeper levels, this is all these things when Swami is saying, Chumma we repeat. Chumma, follow the master, face the devil, fight to the end, finish the game. Jumanji, yeah, another movie. Okay, Jumanji, another movie I have to go watch now. Okay, now you see, same Matrix, Jumanji, Avatar, same people, same movies, everybody is watching. The difference between Chumma watching to what is it in for me? This is the fundamental question of spiritual inquiry. When you start going into the deeper level of consciousness, then all these things are coming out. When they're coming out, let them not hurt anyone around me. Let them be, because what happens when the churning of the ocean of milk was going on, all the good things came. Bilvadala came, Kalpavruksha came, Kamadhenu came, Amrutam came, and all of a sudden, huge halahal came. But when the halahal came, nobody was ready to accept. They want only the Amrutam, not the halahal. Huh? But then for God, it doesn't really matter whether it is Amrutam or halahal. He even took that halahal with lot of love and compassion because to save the humanity. So this context of doing spiritual sadhana, lot of things happen. Mic system won't work and all those things will be happening. But let them not be disturbing our relationship with God. All of these things, everything has a time. Everything good cannot be stopped. Period. Especially if it is willed by Bhagavan, it cannot be stopped. Impossible. Because for him there is no time and space. Deshakala parichinna sarvaga sarvamohini. Desha means space, kala means time. For God, these two do not even exist, or even if they exist, they do not exist in our relative time period, because they are existing in some absolute level. So for us, time and space are relative, and therefore what happens is, for us, everything happens in the context of those relative realities. But in deeper level consciousness, those two don't exist. Like in Inception, they were saying, we have 2 minutes, that means 20 minutes for the other guys, or something like that, no? Yesterday I was also telling, 1 day for Brahma is equal to 1 year on the earth. Means what? At the level of consciousness, as you're deeper in your consciousness, the time expands. Brahma is at a higher level of consciousness. For us, what is 10 years? Maybe 1 split second for Swami, like that. Because why? It is deeper level consciousness. Dog ears, same thing. I'm not saying anything that you don't know. Why you come here, waste your time, I don't know. But anyway, you're already evolved, and I'm just telling you what you know. It's like consultant. They take your time, and they take your watch and tell you the time. That's what's called consultancy. So, similarly here, all these pravachanas are like that only. Everything is there, right there. But you require somebody to open that next level of shell. And that deeper level of consciousness, when we go deeper and deeper into consciousness, there will be so many instincts and pre-programmed things that are coming out. Let them be of no harm to anyone. Let's chant Vijjandhanam. Vijjam Dhanu Kapardino Vishalyo Banavagum Bhuta Anesan Vijjam Dhanu Kapardino Vishalyo Banavagum Bhuta Aneshanna Sheshava Abhura Syani Sangadhihi Yate Hetir Midustamahaste Yate heter midustamahaste Mr. Tejas, why you are all perplexed today? Huh? Everything okay? Okay. Yate heter midustama haste Yate heter midustama haste Yate heter midustama haste Babhuvate dhanuhu Babhuvate dhanuhu Babhuvate dhanuhu Yate heter midustamahaste Babhuvate dhanuhu Tayasman Vishwatastvamayaksmaya Okay, Vishwatastvamayaksmaya 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 Tayasman Vishwatastva Mayakshmaya Paribhuja Tayasman Vishvatastvamayaksmaya Vishvatastvamayaksmaya Paribhuja Yate hetir midhustamagaste babhuvate dhanuhu Tayasman Vishvatastvamayaksmaya Paribhujam Not Vishvatastva, right? Tayasman Vishvatastvamayaksmaya Paribhujam Yate hetir midhustamagaste babhuvate dhanuhu Tayasman Vishvatastvamayaksmaya Paribhujam When you chant Tayasman, after the Tayasman there should be a slight silence, because if there is a comma, there should be a comma after Tayasman, right? If it is not there, put a comma. Slight pause should be like, you should be chanting like this. Yate hetir midhustamagaste babhuvate dhanuhu Tayasman Vishvatastvamayaksmaya Paribhujam Namaste Astvayudhaya
Namaste Astvayudhaya Namaste Astvayudhaya
Anatataya धृष्णवे So when you chant, the Anatataya would not be chanted as Anatataya, it combines. Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave.
Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave.
Parvaledi.
Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave.
90% dropped. Please don't drop. That's okay if you chant incorrectly. No problem. Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave.
Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave. Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave.
Ubabhyamutate. Ubabhyamutate namo bahubhyam tava dhanvane. Bahubhyam, bhyam is down. Bahubhyam tava dhanvane. Bahubhyam tava dhanvane. Bahubhyam tava dhanvane. Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave.
Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave. Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave.
Astvayudhaya, namaste astva, I is down, right? So, namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave.
Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave. Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave.
Ubabhyamutate namo.
Ubabhyamutate namo. Ubabhyamutate namo.
Bahubhyam tava dhanvane.
Bahubhyam tava dhanvane. Bahubhyam tava dhanvane.
Ubabhyamutate namo. Bahubhyam tava dhanvane.
Ubabhyamutate namo. Bahubhyam tava dhanvane. Ubabhyamutate namo. Bahubhyam tava dhanvane.
Chant that mantra. Namaste
Astvayudhaya natataya drishnave. Ubabhyamutate namo. Bahubhyam tava dhanvane. Namaste astvayudhaya natataya drishnave. Ubabhyamutate namo. Bahubhyam tava
Yate hetir midusht. Yate
Namaste Bhagavate Dhanuho Tayasman Vishwatastvamaya Paribhuja
one Yate hetir, because a lot of car clashes. Yate
Namaste Bhagavate Dhanuho Tayasman Vishwatastvamaya Paribhuja
Vishwatastva, Vishwatastva, stva, satava, together, stva. Vishwatastvamaya Shmaya Paribhuja.
Vishwatastvamaya Shmaya Paribhuja Vishwatastvamaya Shmaya Paribhuja.
So, Yate hetir midhushtama. Midhushtama. Midhushtama means the one who showers grace, not just gives grace. Midhushtama means the one who is showering grace. Yate hetir, those deadly weapons that you are carrying, yate hetir, midhushtama, haste, in your hands. Haste means in your hands. Tayasman, Vishwatastvamaya Paribhuja. Tayasman, with all of those deadly weapons of yours that you are carrying, O showerer of grace, let those be used only to protect us from all the worldly troubles, to protect us from the worldly troubles and not to hurt us. Tayasman Vishwatastvamaya Paribhuja. Protect us from all the worldly troubles. These worldly troubles are created by who? Us. But you ask him to protect us from all of that. Huh? Go back to inception. Who created all this world? God. Yeah. But who created all the troubles in the world? God. Yeah. That's right. The creator of trouble is who? Us. But who created the world for us? God. But that is also not true. All the world is not created by God. Some of them created by only. Some of the things that are coming back to hurt us are created by who? Us only. Right? God did not create the trouble for you. He gave you all these beautiful resources so you can use them and be happy. But instead of being happy, yes, Amma? You're sharing some wisdom in the back. Yate hetir midhushtama haste. Now you see, this is like who God created troubles for us. Oh. Very good. Yeah. Oh, by creating us, He created trouble. You see, this is, He did not create us to create trouble. He created us so that we become the reflections of His. Right? Yesterday I was talking about how Krishna became the many. Why? Because He didn't want the mothers and the fathers in the Gokulam to worry about what happened to their children. Therefore, the one became the many. And He recreated the many from the one of His own self. And now, yate hetir midhushtama haste babhuvate dhanuhu, your dhanu, your bow, which is your mind, and hetir. Heti means all the deadly weapons that you are carrying. Let those be used only to protect us from all the worldly troubles, and may they not be used for anything else. So again, referring to God, how it applies to us is, God has given you a beautiful mind, a beautiful intellect, a beautiful body. Everything that He has given you is all to be used in the context of protecting the world and not create trouble, but to save ourselves from the trouble. And that is the meaning of that mantra. I will tell the meaning of the next mantra in the next class, but let's chant Yate Heter Midushtama and the next mantra. Yate Heter Midushtama Haste Babhuvate class, with Swami's grace, will be completing the first Anuvakam. So that will complete the first Anuvakam. Once you learn the first Anuvakam, the rest of it is all very simple. Okay. But the first Anuvakam is the most powerful thing, because this is the one that is helping us to purify the instruments that God has given us. Purity of the mind, purity of the intellect. That is the purpose, that is the benefit you get out of just simply chanting or even listening to the first Anuvakam. So let's pause, and now we have the SSC class.